Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm having a look here at a motherboard that I pulled out of the comaq Evo D310. It has nichicon caps that are non-defective, and this is due to an instability in the electrolyte that's in them, which causes them to build up too much pressure over time and vent. So I've already removed one out of the board now, and it vented off while I was removing it, believe it or not. These are 105-degree caps, so they are pretty good anyways, but the thing that lets them down is the formula in the electrolyte for these things. I mean, that's a 2200 micro. I'm going to try and get a load of those from Maplin. It'll probably cost me about £67, so that's not bad at all. Slam them into this board and Bob's your uncle. So I'm going to desolder the rest of these caps. I'm using a magnifying glass so I can actually see what I'm doing instead of going completely for the wrong bit. I've already hit a few motherboard traces, but luckily nothing too drastic. So I'm actually going to get to work on this now. I'm going to remove another cap. I'm going to remove that glass there. So I've already removed a cap here. So I'm going to remove that one and that one, and moving down a little further. And there's a stop zone where I put some tape down, as you can see there. That tells me where I'm not to desolder. So I'm going to get to work now. I'm going to have to turn the microphone off and hold the board while I desolder these old parts. As you can see here, this is another one of the capacitors I've just got out of the board. As you saw, it was a bit of a hassle, and the bottom on this one is bulging, as you can see when you look at it a little. You can see there's a bit of bulging there, and there's some bulging on the top. So that was definitely going to burst out. So that's two capacitors off the board already. So let's move on to the next one, and hope I don't damage any more traces. That should still work, because it's only minor. It's only showing a bit of copper. I can hide that. So let's carry on by getting another one off. And remember, this soldering job is not for the faint-hearted. If you don't want to damage your motherboard, well, get a professional to do it. or if you are a professional anyways, do it yourself. Be very careful. Touching the motherboard will melt this green surfacing for the insulation on the board. This will show the traces, and if there's any solder that jumps over the gaps, you'll end up with a short and you'll end up with a dead motherboard. So you want to be very careful when you actually do this, not to break your board. That's another dud out of the motherboard. And as you can see, we're not doing too bad for traces or anything like that. You can see the ones that I've removed. And we're going to be careful with this motherboard because I'm going to be reusing it once I get the new caps in place. So we're going to carry on with this until we've got all the dead ones out. These are all duds, these are KZGs. We're going to be replacing them with something a little bit more upmarket with a better electrolyte inside them, which will not be prone to explosion. So let's carry on. Luckily that was what was known in the soldering industry as a dry joint, so it came away from the cold part of the motherboard, because solder does not like to be instantly chilled, or else it will not make contact with the component you're trying to solder. And that's another defective capacitor out. Let's go for the next one. I wonder that cap wasn't releasing, I was doing the wrong part. I believe this one's just dented a little. Could have been because I pulled the base out. That's another one, there is a dodo, clean out the motherboard. So, I've got all the caps out that I need to get out for now. I'm going to be buying some more when I get my money back, back in. And I'll see you in the next video when I'm installing these. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll show you the front of the motherboard without the capacitors in place. So I'm going to move out of the way, and let's show you the board. Be sure when you're replacing capacitors to make sure that the polarity on the capacitor on the motherboard is correct. Unless it's an ASUS motherboard, the white should be the negative. In my case, the white is the negative. If you have an ASUS motherboard, it's the other way around. I'm glad you could join me to watch this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, rate and comment, and I will see you again in the next video, when I will probably be putting new capacitors into this motherboard. So I'll see you then.